we continue our Easter celebration, the Church gives us this passage from John's narration of the Last Supper, which is counterintuitive, right? We could be talking still about the appearances of Jesus, about finding the tomb empty, about the early church, about preparing for Pentecost. But the Church brings us back to the Last Supper, I would suggest, so that we can understand the meaning of resurrection. Maybe it works better for us now than it did on Holy Thursday to hear Jesus talking about glory, about giving the Father glory. Because what we experienced that week of Thursday and Friday and Saturday, it didn't feel like glory. It didn't feel like honor. It felt like dishonor. And the Church always struggled with the image of Jesus dishonored, disfigured, naked on the cross. But it's there that he says that he will give the Father glory and the Father will glorify him. So I was thinking, sometimes we look for glory, for honor in our lives. It's not unusual that we would imagine ourselves being the one that lays up the basketball and gets all of the applause, that we would be the one that would get some great award, who would publish some important book, who would find ourselves at the center of all of the attention. And fundraisers have made a lot of money on this over the years, because the person who gets honored so enjoys being honored that they will find all of their friends to donate money, and right, like we like to be in the center of things. We don't like to admit it, but we like it. This sense of honor is a little different, right? Because it's very different because it finds itself in the midst of pain and suffering and loss and disrespect. But more importantly, it's different because it's mutual. Because it's mutual, because the dignity that the Son gives to the Father, the honor, the glory that the Son gives to the Father comes back. It's a mutual relationship. This is more like love in its expression. And we shouldn't be surprised by that, because it's the relationship between Father and Son. And this honor, this glory, is maybe a little bit like when we manage to leave aside all of our concerns and our prejudices and our rightful indignation and all the rest, and with love, with sincere love, help a brother or a sister on the corner of the street. Help them with something, and especially help them with love. That the love that we offer, with some practical food or care that goes along with it, some trust, the love we offer gives them honor, dignity, grace, glory, but it also gives us back honor, dignity, grace, glory. Love does that. Which, as the story continues, Jesus immediately turns to love as the way that his disciples would continue this relationship. He invites us to love one another the way that he's loving us. He said, love the way I love. The way he loves in the midst of pain and suffering, injustice. The way he gives his life for those who haven't earned it, who aren't worthy of it. If you've ever run across the concept, a very American concept, the difference between the worthy poor and the unworthy poor, right? The difference between those we should help, where we offer our charity, and those who won't use it right, who are unworthy of it. Jesus loved the unworthy, specifically. And his love is transforming and brings about glory, dignity, grace for you and me. And he asks us to share that, because what love does is builds dignity and grace. You know, food doesn't, money doesn't, a roof over our head doesn't. Like these things, they can even sometimes get in the way, but love does. Love needs a concrete expression in food and comfort and care and time and energy. Love builds glory and grace. And our fifth Sunday of Easter, right, as we prepare for the coming of the Holy Spirit, we just take a moment to recognize what Jesus did on the cross and what it means for you and me. We struggle a lot, right, to keep the commandments, to live moral lives. Jesus says, you need to love the way that I love. That's the only way that you will be my disciples. It's the only way that people will recognize you as my followers. Love the way that I love. Love those who aren't worthy of your love. Love those who haven't earned it. Love those who might not do anything good with it, but they might. They might. And then our first response, when we hear the news, when we worry about the border, when we find out about all of these crazy people that are doing so many crazy things, love first. And let our love become the source of glory and dignity, because it is the expression of our love and the expression of the Father's love.